Konnichiwa. Good morning,
What?
everybody. Good morning. Yes, welcome back to the show. This is episode 362 of the Two Dum Yinzers. We are back. It's what is this? I don't know. Tuesday. Good morning, fellas. How you doing today, Big Mike?
Doing great.
I think Mike's literally talking
If I
out of his
remember
ass
to,
right now.
I'm doing great. I forgot to turn off the air conditioner.
Oh, you're
I don't want to blow it into the,
Good morning, Derpy. What's up with you, man?
Another day closer to football
It sure is. Oh, it sure is.
and training camp too.
I think the guys reported to camp and they are there. So it won't be long now. It will not be long. It's going to be 17 days till they play Tampa Bay. 17 days, 2 weeks, 3 days.
One more day. One more day. I think the Steelers report.
One more day.
Yeah, I think it's the 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very exciting. It's very exciting. We waited all year for this. If you watch the show, you know that we've been talking about this day pretty much since I don't know, what was it? The first couple of days of January, since the Steelers got eliminated from any kind of playoff contention. We've been anticipating this moment ever since. Good morning, everybody. Yes. A couple things before we do start. Did anybody see these drag racers on the Fort Pitt Bridge over the weekend that was doing the donuts?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the guy that got cited was actually a Florida man. Florida man charged with stunts on the Fort Pitt Bridge. Does that surprise you at all?
Not at all.
No, not.
I thought it looked kind of cool. Like it looked like something that you would see in a movie or on a Grand Theft Auto video game, and they were doing all these circles. But I guess if you do it in real life, you get in trouble.
Yeah, what else are you going to do at 3 a.m. in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. You had the city in the background. You're on the bridge. It was. I don't know. Guess you had to be there. The people that were there weren't too thrilled.
Yeah.
Another one here. The Undertaker. Anybody catch this? He's doing the one dead man show.
I saw something about that.
So basically, what's going on? He's going to come to the Bynum Theater in November, the 11th, actually. And he's going to sit there and basically talk to the audience and answer questions and give personal stories. And I don't know. You think people would be into this?
You know what, dude? Wrestling podcasts they're still very popular, and especially when they have live shows like that. So yeah, and think him out of character talking. I think a lot of people, the wrestling fans, will want to go see that.
Because I think in general, you could consider me a wrestling fan. I don't pay attention like I used to, and I don't get into it like I used to. But all in all, I'm a wrestling fan, and I might think that something like this was cool to, But here you go, you make your way up to the city, fight the hustle and bustle of the traffic. You get down there, and then you listen to Mark Calloway talk and tell tales for 2 hours. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it.
I see. I would need him and someone else.
Yeah.
Right. I've interviews and stuff with him out of character. He's engaging, but he's not like a Mick Foley who draws you in, or like a Jericho who draws you in. He's just kind of like a laid back kind of guy in those things. He needs someone else to bounce off of.
He's always been a favorite. I mean, this is somebody that we all wanted to be when we were kids. We would all pretend that we were the Undertaker and beat the crap out of our friends. I think it would be cool. It would be cool to see. I hope it does well. It's called the One Dead Man Show with the Undertaker. Again, that's November 11th down in the Cultural District. So if you're into anything, things like that, go check it out. Additionally, Bronny James, guys, he went into cardiac arrest yesterday at practice. Seems to be in stable condition.
Yeah, that's wild, man. He's way too young to have something
way
like
too
that.
young.
Yeah.
That's like, a few years ago, what is it, at Maryland football, they had, someone die in practice from the heat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, at least nowadays, these teams are, they're taking situations like this very, very carefully. And you have to think, though, too, being that LeBron's James kid, this school is going to do everything they can to make sure he is okay.
Right.
Yeah, but that is just nuts. You figure someone that young, that healthy for that to happen.
That's
That's kind of concerning for that
It's
young.
concerning for sure.
Yeah, hopefully it was just like, a heat related thing and not a long-term health related thing.
Right. And I don't know. I was never a superior athlete, but to be the best, you always have to have the edge. And who knows what people are putting in their bodies? And I'm not insinuating that he put things in his body, but I'm just saying when you're a top athlete, you have to have that edge because if you don't, the guy across from you is gonna win, and he's gonna win the position, maybe go on, maybe get the contract. But again, that's just speculation. I don't know. It's crazy for somebody that young. That's
yeah.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, it can happen. It literally can happen to anyone. It's out of nowhere.
I mean, guys like us who our diet is cheeseburgers and French fries.
We're not getting our heart rate up.
I'm healthy as an ox.
Yeah, right. Hey,
You know?
until you go to the doctors, you're healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, until they say you're not healthy, you're healthy.
That's why I don't go. I don't give them that. They're not going to tell me what's wrong with me. I'm going to be fine until I'm 90.
Right. I don't want to know.
I'll be fine until I die.
Yeah.
With them telling me.
Want me to better myself? Who
Yeah.
do they?
Oh yeah.
Well, what college did they go to?
Yeah. That's the way to fix it all is better yourself. Who wants to hear that?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with cheeseburgers, and that pisses me off.
Exactly. Any diet that says I can have cheeseburgers is the diet for me.
You Darvish on the hill against the Pirates last night. The Pirates have their way once again with not so elite anymore, but one day he was an elite pitcher in this league. You Darvish. Pirates, they come up big, hit with 13 hits last night against the Padres in an 8-4 win. That takes the Pirates up to 44-56. It doesn't get them any higher than 11.5 games. They're still 11.5 games. Once you get in this basement, boy, it's sure hard to get out of. And I just, like I said, it's going to take the Pirates getting on a streak and winning a lot of games in a row to actually get back in this. And I haven't seen any sign of that since April.
Mm-hmm.
So Padres, they fell to 48-53. This seems to be the only team that we could beat easily in the league. Big Stacks goes 0 for 4. Triolo gets a hit. Santana 3 hits, 2 home runs. Jack Will.
I was going to say, not a bad night for the old men.
Not a bad night for the old. Not a bad night for anybody. We like I said, we put up 13 hits on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Wilson, 21st home run of the season. He became the fastest Pirate ever to reach 21 home runs in a season. This is the fastest ever a Pirate has reached 21 home runs in a season.
Ooh.
On top of that, he also was only a triple shy of the cycle, which I knew he wasn't going to get because he's just not that fast.
No.
But he started off the game with a double, and then he hit the home run, then he got a single, and it was still early. Like we were batting around. I mean, it was the 4th inning, I think, and he already had 3 hits. I said, well, you know what? This is the best opportunity he's going to have basically the rest of the game to try to get that triple. And again, it's impossible for Jack Wilson, who doesn't have great speed.
Jack Zawinski.
You
keep calling him Jack
something
Wilson.
Crazy goes on, goes on, and the ball bounces off the, one of the weird angles onto the field. Maybe something like that could happen where Zawinski could have got that triple. But as I said, it was tough to think that was going to happen.
Yeah. But man, this team, man, back to Zawinski real quick. The fastest to hit 21. Think about some of the power hitters we have had on this team. Dave Parker, Willie Stargell, Barry Bonds, Brian Giles, Jason Bay, some guys who are hitting for power in this franchise. And Zawinski,
Roberto Clemente,
yeah.
Honus Wagner.
Yeah, Honus Wagner wasn't a power hitter.
Yeah, but still, he did everything. You think he would have?
He did everything. You know what? Back in that era, my God.
Yeah.
You playing
Jack Zawinski, not Jack Wilson. Everybody.
Jack Wilson.
Quentin Priester gets his first major league win in his second attempt. He had 5 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, gave up 3 earned. He had given up 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and he had 4 Ks.
You got the ERA down to respectable 9. Yeah,
is that what it's at?
Yeah, he's at a 9. He went from an 11 something down to a 9.2. So he's going in the right direction.
He's going in the right direction.
You know what? Hey, not bad. Not he's only 22.
I like him. He looks good for a future. To
think
of the future rotation. I'm cool with him, man. I think he's going to do a great job. as I said, down the line, you're going to be able to add Paul Skeens and, and hopefully Mitch Keller's going to keep doing what he does. And in the future, with this Young Bucks team, we might have a team.
Hopefully, Keller can keep like his first half performance, right? And he's dropping off the last half of the year, but hopefully, he can round back into form for the season.
What does it do with just lack of runs scored?
His ERA has gone up too. Yeah, he's given up more.
Got to be able to score too. I mean,
you have to, but like hit, that ERA, man, it's creeping up there. He's in the 4s now. You want to see that a lot lower for someone who was just in the All-Star game. But
yeah,
you know what? It's kind of hard for me to hate on Mitch Keller right now. Just the way he's pitched so well all year, and the team did not give him any support for the most part. So if he slips up a little, I'm okay with it. But
he was doing great early when the team was.
I just want to keep him. I just want to keep him at consistently at that level, man.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the question though, because a week from today is the deadline. Are you buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
Derpy, this team's not buyers when they're in contention.
If you would have asked a month ago, I would have bought. I think now that they've hit that wall, they're on the free fall, 11 and a half games. They're below the Cardinals.
Yep.
You win a couple games, you're still at 11 and a half out. I mean, it's going to take a catastrophic breakdown between 4 other teams, and we are going to have to go on a streak that we haven't seen since April. I just can't imagine being buyers, but I would be awfully I would be conservative as far as my selling goes. There's things, there's a thing called building your team, and a lot of times when we become sellers, you just dismantle the whole process and then you start over from square one beginning of next season. And you know what, it's counterproductive. You can't do that. If you're going to sell, you have to be a conservative seller and do it strategically, which this team just doesn't do. They just start selling. They start selling, sending guys. And again, what is that going to do? How it's bad. It's a bad situation here in Pittsburgh. So hopefully,
there's reports out there that they are listening to offers for Bednar and Keller. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to make the moves, but you can't fault them for listening, because if someone comes out with like an overwhelming package that make your team better now and in the future,
I'll give you an overwhelming package, mister.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. But no, if it's like an overwhelming trade package that's going to help you now and in the future, I wouldn't be opposed to taking it. But to automatically trade away Bednar and Keller to me would be stupid. But if it's the right thing to do, and it's going to actually make you better now and in the long run. I just don't want the long run, kicking the can down the road, we're going to be better. No, I want now and in the future if you trade your 2 best players.
And get this, guys, Saturday night, the 29th, is the Renegade David Bednar bobblehead giveaway. And 3 days later, the 1st of August is trade deadline. So
nothing more Pittsburgh.
You might want to go out.
That is the most Pittsburgh Pirate thing I've ever seen in my life. I have bobbleheads from where this has happened before. And it just does not surprise me. It's playing out this way. Again, the Renegade David Bednar bobblehead free giveaway on Saturday night, and Tuesday, I believe the way I think is the 1st is the trade deadline. Yep. So get your Bednar.
That's you'll get it, and then they'll trade them away on the 1st.
Yeah.
You gotta love the way this team operates, fellas.
Or they'll trade them in the middle of the game.
Yeah, they'll trade them to the team we're playing. That's one of my favorite.
That's my favorite. They just walk down the hallway.
Yeah,
walk around the stadium.
They don't leave. They go with the team. They show up. They play with the team, and then they end up staying. I hate that. Game 2 of 3 tonight. Try to win the series. Try to win it early. 9:40. I hate these late games. Probables for tonight are Dick Mountain with a 7-9 record, of 4.84 ERA, 94 strikeouts on the season, facing Blake Snell, who's 6-8 with a 2.67 ERA and 143 strikeouts on the season. Those numbers are pretty good. And they're not great, but they're pretty good. But you know what? We just crushed you, Darvish. So
yeah, like Blake Snell. Like that name sounds familiar, so I just pulled up his stats. He had 2018. He hit the 21. He was 21-5, and since then, and before then, he hasn't won more than 8 games. He's 63 and 54 in his career, and 21 of those came in one season. Not bad. I guarantee you he got a good contract after that, made a lot of money.
Absolutely. We could just win the night, win this series, and then then we could focus on
the gauntlet that is August.
Problem is August. I think we've got Philadelphia coming to town. We come home to play Philly, so we got a whole new set of problems coming. But you know what? That's neither here nor there, because I'm going to talk a little bit of football today.
Here we go.
Football.
Jordan Addison driving 140 miles per hour. You remember the other day due to a medical emergency with his dog, according to Citation.
You know what? Dog ate my homework. Dog ate my playbook, and I got to go rescue him. The amount of people I saw buy that on Twitter blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's just like, that's just channeling your inner child and good. I'm caught. What do I do? My dog.
What was the car?
What's up?
What was the car he had?
I don't know. Probably something really nice.
It was like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something. No, that's just someone who got caught going out for a joyride.
Those damn dog emergencies in your Ferrari, 140 miles an hour. Some Ravens news. The Ravens signed former Steeler quarterback Arthur Millette. You think it's a nice pickup for the Ravens, Mike?
Yeah, he might be their dime guy. So
I don't know, but Marcus Peters is out and Arthur Millette is in. Are they any better than they were last year?
No, I'd rather have Marcus Peters, but sometimes the whole is better than the sum of the parts, and him in that rotation might be better. And I tell you, Baltimore probably, they're going to pick his brain for, what the Steelers do on defense, but really, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, they know each other inside out.
Right.
So it's not just one of those type signings where we're going to sign this guy, get all the information we can and get rid of him. I think he'll be a player down there, but I don't think he's going to be not like, here he wasn't like the key guy. So I just was not a real, he didn't wow me, but he also didn't I wasn't worried when I saw him out there.
No, neither am I.
He's a competent NFL player.
And you need guys professional. Like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only so much that you can go and tell. And, and being savvy enough organization, we're going to go in and we're going to tweak things when we play Baltimore for this exact reason. But as you said, I think that the Ravens were better off with Marcus Peters than Arthur Millette.
To me, that's a big downgrade.
Marcus Peters, of course, signed to a 1-year deal with the Raiders, going from the Ravens to the Raiders.
I don't even know who the Ravens secondary is anymore.
I don't either. I just knew Marcus Peters.
Yeah. It's like how, Rock Ya-Sin, Marlon Humphrey, he's good. Kyle Hamilton, he was rookie last year out of Notre Dame. So those two guys I think are good. But like Rock Ya-Sin, he's bounced around the league for a while. I'd rather have Marcus Peters, but it's just me.
Speaking of cornerbacks, do the Pittsburgh Steelers get Joey Porter signed anytime soon?
If it's gonna take a while, I don't think it's gonna. If he doesn't make it to the first day of camp, I see him making in that first week of camp.
Yeah,
right. It's now about yes, he was the 32nd overall pick. Him and his camp were saying that's first round pick. Steelers are saying, no, that's second round pick. So it's coming down to what kind of guaranteed money is he going to get?
Right.
First round money or second round money? So I don't think it's going to last long. And, once camp starts, guys want to get there. And I think, he maybe missed that first day, which is inconsequential. It's not going to hold him back at all. Remember, Rod Woodson held out a lot during his rookie year and turned into one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. So I'm not too worried about it. I think it's just coming down to getting that guaranteed money, which, on a rookie contract, get as much as you can. I have no problem with a player trying to do that. And, this guy, he's going to be there. You can tell he loves football, but you got to take care of your business side too.
And you know that this team is focused. They're ready to get to camp. They're ready to get to work. They're ready to play football. So hopefully they get that all squared away so there isn't any issues and we could focus. We could get ready for the season. I know that I'm excited. I was reading the other day. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to play out for the Thursday night game in Pittsburgh when we play Tennessee this year, but they that we got scooped that the Tennessee Titans are going to wear those old Houston Oiler uniforms. And I seen somebody on Twitter, I believe they said, wouldn't it be cool if the Steelers would wear their old block number uniforms against the Houston Oiler uniforms on that Thursday night game? I thought, man, would that take you back? Because I for one, I mean, Derpy don't remember these things, but I for one was very aware of football whenever it was the Steelers and the Oilers going at it in that division. And I think that would be nostalgia. It's greatest if you're a football fan, especially being a Steeler or a Houston Oilers fan.
See, I'm just like, I remember last year when it became a real big thing when they wore the block letters for a game. I have no recollection of like fond memories of them, because I just, I watched the Steelers in the 80s and the 90s. Like to me, it was just another jersey when they wore it that game. I don't understand. There's like a disconnect with me and that jersey. I just
People don't really go crazy about it, where I don't think it's that huge of a difference.
I don't either. No, I like the jerseys we have now. I just don't see it. And I'm not trying to be contrarian. I just don't see it.
No,
it's like when they wear them, cool. When they don't, not me being contrarian. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Yeah, what other kind of shows are you doing? We don't do that here.
We don't do that here. No, that was
we sip tea with our pinkies out.
Yeah.
But I think that would be cool just for the sake of it. Maybe do some playback stuff during that game where you're doing the highlights of games back then. I just think things like that are cool. And for a guy Derpy's age, I think would be cool too, because you see a little bit of that and learn a little bit of that, and those little takes that they put in. You learn things from that, and if you're a fan, that's pretty cool. The most sacks. He wants to hear which teams have the most sacks and how many since 1970. Since 1970, I have a list of 5 teams. I'm going to give you the top 5 teams, fellas, that have the most sacks and how many since 1970. Number 5, the lowest amount is the Saints. They have 2,096. 2,096 sacks. And you got to think they weren't really that good for most of their.
That's interesting that they're in there.
It is very interesting, I thought. Number 4, the Cowboys, 2,106 sacks since 1970. Yeah, makes sense.
I thought they would be higher.
The Rams are number 3, 2,170 sacks. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2,189 sacks.
Makes a lot of sense.
Sacks.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense for that high.
Who's number 1 though?
Number 1 with 3 more sacks than the Pittsburgh Steelers with 2,192. Eagles? The Philadelphia Eagles. Yep. There's no surprise to me that would have been my next guess.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
I always hate when we have to play them. That defense always scares me. Even when they were bad, that defense, they always had a good defense.
That defense is always, you're right, no matter what. And even growing up, I just remember always hearing that the Philly defense, and I thought, why? They're no good. What's the deal over there? But
I remember, like, even in Ben's prime, we would play them like, oh, the Eagles, we should beat them, and we get curb stomped because we just couldn't do anything at the link. That defense was just so overpowering.
I have another list here, guys. I like doing lists, especially when it comes to football. You guys want to play a real quick list of every team's all-time passing leader. Every team's all-time passing leader. Would you guys be interested in doing this?
That's a good one.
All right. I'm going to give you the team. You give me your guess right off the top, and if it's right, it's not. I will then give you the person that it is. I'm looking for the all-time passing leader for every team. I'm going to start with the Miami Dolphins. Anybody got a guess on this?
Marino.
Dan Marino. He is correct. Dan has 61,361 yards. It looks like they go by division here, so that's going to help us out.
Okay.
So we're going to start in the AFC East. The first one was the Dolphins. The second one, I'm looking for the quarterback who has the all-time passing yards for the New York Jets. Who is the leader of all-time passing yards for the New York Jets?
Oh, wow.
And if you don't get it, I'll give you the amount of yards, and that might help.
Eaton.
Anybody, Derpy?
Namath.
Oh, Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington,
yeah.
This quarterback with 27,057 yards leads the Jets all time. It is Joe Namath. Joe Namath.
Oh, man.
Two
I figured
Pittsburgh
someone
guys.
by now would have broken that record. They go through quarterbacks so fast, though.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this statistic in a second. The New England Patriots.
Brady,
of course.
Brady.
And
Princess
finally, the Buffalo Bills.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, Derpy.
Jim Kelly.
Derpy, Mike both say Jim Kelly. It is Jim Kelly, and that is 3 of the 4 quarterbacks from the AFC East are all Pittsburgh guys. Dan Marino, Joe Namath, and Jim Kelly.
That's crazy.
We're going to go to the AFC North now. We're looking for the all-time leading passer for the Baltimore Ravens. Anybody?
Joe Flacco.
Joe
Flacco.
Flacco did. He has
the last
30.
good Raven quarterback.
If you could even call him that, I will say that he did have 38,245. 38,245 yards, which Joe Flacco also played for Pitt briefly. So next, I'm looking for the best Cleveland Browns quarterback of all time as far as passing yards. And I'm going to give you the number first. The number of yards he had was 23,713.
Co's Bernie.
Bernie, you're saying Bernie. Derpy saying Otto. The gentleman's name was Brian Sipe. Brian Sipe.
What?
23,713 yards.
Is that like the 50s, 40s, something like that?
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. His picture even looks old compared to everybody else's. So I can imagine what year. While Mike's looking that up, I'm going to go to.
No wonder why they're not good.
Wow.
I'll say the 50s, just by the look of this picture.
Over 100 years, and you're telling me a guy from the 50s is your all-time.
He was born in.
No wonder why they
1949. So he played from 74 to 83. There we go. Took me a second. That's not that far back.
Fair.
The Bengals. I'm looking for the all-time passing leader.
Boomer.
Palmer.
You're saying Palmer. Who'd you say, Mike?
Boomer
and Palmer. The answer with 32,838 yards was Kenny Anderson.
That was another good pick. He was good back in the 70s.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Who would you say is the all-time leading passer?
Big Ben.
Did you say Cordell Stewart? With 60,348 yards, Big Ben is correct. We're down to the AFC South division, which is the Jaguars, Texans, Colts, and Titans. I'm looking for the Jacksonville Jaguars all-time leading passer.
This is going to be hard.
Mark Brunell. Who'd you say, Derpy?
This is going to be hard. I'm just going to go with Mike.
All right, it is Mark Brunell with 25,698 yards. Next is the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, this quarterback had 23,221 yards.
Carr,
Derpy.
Schwab.
You know what? Who'd you say? Schaub. It is Matt Schaub.
Oh, nice. Good call, Derpy. I forget. Schaub was down there forever.
You know what? The Houston Texas quarterbacks all remind me of one another. There's no difference when you talk about these quarterbacks that played for Houston. Schaub and Carr, and they have a list of them. We're looking for the Colts. Anybody? The Colts.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot Peyton
Manning.
There, yeah. I almost said Johnny Unitas. I forgot. No, Peyton ended up at Denver.
54,828 yards for Peyton Manning. That's correct. We're looking for now the Tennessee Titans, which also goes back into the Houston Oilers franchise. Can anybody tell me who is the all-time passing leader for this franchise? The Titans / Oilers.
Warren Moon or Steve McNair. I'm going to go with.
I want to go with McNair.
I'm going to go with Warren Moon.
You're going Moon, Derpy. I think Derpy you're going McNair?
I think I'm going to go McNair.
I think Derpy might be right, but I'm sticking with Warren Moon.
With 33,685 yards, the answer is Warren Moon.
Yeah, the run and shoot, baby.
Run and shoot. We're down to the AFC West. Chargers all-time passing leader.
Phillip Rivers.
Derpy.
Phillip Rivers, the guy that didn't win a ring. Of all the quarterbacks.
59,271 yards. It is.
Should have won with Tomlinson, though.
I'm gonna go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Anybody? The Kansas City Chiefs all-time passing leader.
It's gonna be Mahomes when it's all said and done, but I'm gonna go with the quarterback who preceded him. What the hell was his name?
Alex Smith.
Oh, wait. You know what? Screw it. Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Is that who you're saying as well, Derpy?
Yeah.
The answer is Len Dawson.
Yep.
Len Dawson had 28,507 yards. Denver. It's not Peyton Manning. This is your all-time leading passing leader in Denver. John Elway, of course, has 51,400.
How did I forget about Len Dawson?
You're welcome, Cleveland.
The Raiders. This one was a bit of a surprise to me with 26,896 yards. I'm looking for the Raiders all-time passing leader.
How many yards?
26,896.
Oh my God.
That's a hard one.
Kenny Stabler.
Derpy.
I'm gonna go with what Mike said. Kenny Stabler.
Derek Carr.
Wow.
Derek Carr is the Raiders' all-time leading passer. 26,896 yards. Some of these are surprises.
Yeah. Just when I think, when I go new school, I should have went old school. I go old school, I should have gone new school.
Right. We're going to go over to the NFC now. This is the NFC East, which is the Giants, Cowboys, Commanders, and Eagles. For first, I'm looking for the New York Giants all-time passing leader. The Giants all-time passing leader.
Let's go with Eli.
Eli Derpy with 57,023 yards. The answer is Eli Manning. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. This one could be tricky.
You got Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, or
I'm gonna go Aikman.
Was it real passing? Yeah, but it wasn't a passing league there. But he did have. Fuck it. Yeah, let's go with. No, let's go with Romo.
Tony Romo. Derpy, what do you got?
Aikman.
Troy Aikman. The answer is with 34,183 yards. Tony Romo.
Wow.
Tony Romo.
Wow. That's actually surprising to me.
The team formerly known as the Redskins, currently known as the Commanders, future known as who knows what.
Red Rockets.
Team from Washington, the Red Rockets. Who was the all-time passing leader for this Washington football team?
Now that's the question of the day.
Wow. Let's go with Doug Williams.
Doug Williams. What do you think, Derpy?
Williams. Yeah, Doug Williams.
Joe Theismann, 25,206 yards.
I was thinking it was
him. How the hell could I forget Joe Theismann?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was him, but I wasn't sure because of the injury.
Yeah, that injury is the one thing that people do remember about Joe Theismann.
I forgot he played until just now.
Yeah. He was when you're kids and you buy them sets that have the football helmets and the shirts and the
you'd always get his.
Right. I always I had Joe Theismann. That's the only reason I remember who he was like this.
Remember his name was Thiesman and they changed it to Theismann because Theismann for Heisman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles. Who was the all-time passing leader of the Philadelphia Eagles? The amount of yardage was 32,873 yards.
There's some good. So we got Jaws. We got Randall Cunningham, McNabb. I'm gonna go with Donovan McNabb.
Derpy, what do you think for the Philadelphia Eagles? McNabb. The answer is Donovan McNabb. That is true. He had 32,873 yards. To the NFC North, Central, whatever you may call it, who was the Green Bay Packers?
Rodgers.
Derpy?
Rodgers.
With 61,655 yards, Brett Favre.
Oh,
I was thinking Brett Favre, but I wasn't sure.
Damn. I thought Rodgers beat him, man.
Minnesota. We're looking for the Vikings. The Vikings all-time passer. This gentleman had 33,098 yards.
Dante Culpepper.
Derpy.
Culpepper.
Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton.
Dang. You figure with the receivers Dante had.
Yeah. You got to figure though, this team here, Fran Tarkenton's, they went to 4 Super Bowls or
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't win any of them.
No.
I'm looking for now the all-time leading pass leader for the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions.
Stafford.
Yeah, Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford is correct with 45,109 yards. This organization has never had a good quarterback, in my opinion. I'm looking for the quarterback who had the most yards passed by a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I would argue that this team has never had a good quarterback.
No, because Jim McMahon was not a good quarterback.
No, he was ass. He was flash. That was all.
Jay Cutler.
Sunglasses. Jay Cutler. Derpy, what do you think for Chicago?
I'm trying to figure out.
I'll give you the amount of yards, 23,443. So nothing spectacular. I mean, respectable, but considering what these other quarterbacks on this list has done,
I didn't even see P on the board. I forgot to play along.
I don't have P on my board because I have something else pulled up. So yeah, if you could talk to P.
Yeah, you're like P. That Williams one, they couldn't wait to get him out of there, even after that Super Bowl. You're right. I forgot.
Who was it?
The Washington Commanders.
Dougie Williams. I love Doug Williams.
Yeah,
that was one of my.
Saying Cutler.
So yes, Cutler. Who do you say, Derpy, for the Bears?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler is the correct answer.
Yeah, because like P said, he was there forever.
Yeah. Over to the NFC South. I'm looking for the all-time passing leader for New Orleans Saints.
Oh, Drew Brees all day.
Brees? Everybody agree on Brees?
He made that franchise.
Drew Brees with 68,010 yards passing is the all-time leading passer. This next one here, it's funny to me because listen to this amount of yards first. The all-time passing leader for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has, 19,737. 19,000. Think of this. Jay Cutler had 23,000. So the all-time passing leader for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't even crack 20,000 yards. 19,737. Does anybody want to take a guess who this quarterback?
How long did Brady play in Tampa Bay?
Right.
Okay, I'm being serious. How long did he play?
I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't Tom Brady after what was it, 2 seasons?
Okay, well, I was going to say if he played there for 4 or 5 years, I was going to go Brady.
Even 20,000 yards after 2 years is even a stretch for Brady. But I'm looking for a guy who has passed more than anybody else in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history with 19,737 yards. I mean, you could find that amount of yards in the cushions of your couch, in my opinion. You guys want to take a stab at who it is that has 19,737 yards?
He is saying Winston. That might be a good choice right there.
I'm going to go Jameis Winston.
I'm going to go. Who's the one who made it to the Super Bowl? Was it Johnson?
Brad Johnson.
I'm going to go Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson. P and Derpy says Jameis Winston. The answer is, guys, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston. So there you have it. Jameis Winston is the leader all time.
He's stealing crab legs and stealing records.
Yes. I always liked him more as a person than I did a football player. I was never really impressed with him on the field.
I like a college kid stole crab legs.
Yeah.
And stop the presses.
Third in the AFC South, guys. I'm looking for the all-time passing leader of the Carolina Panthers. Panthers. Anybody?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, Mike. I'm Dirk. I'm sorry. The amount of yards, I'll give you the amount. Let's see if this helps you out at all. 29,041. 29,041 yards passed by the all-time passing leader of the Carolina Panthers. What do you think, Derpy?
It could be Cam Newton, but I'm thinking the guy from 04.
Burline. The Holmes.
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme.
Delhomme.
Yeah, Delhomme.
And that's who you're going with?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go Jake Delhomme.
The answer is Cam Newton, 29,041 yards. Ooh. Cam Newton is the all-time leading passer for the Carolina Panthers. Bringing up the rear in the AFC South, as they usually do, the Atlanta Falcons, guys. I'm looking for the all-time passing leader for the Atlanta Falcons.
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. What do you think, Terps?
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, 55,767 yards. The answer is Matt Ryan.
Matt, 28-3, Ryan.
Yeah. Boys, that's what he's going to be remembered for forever. We're down to the last division. I'm going to give you the names real quick. You just think about it, and then we'll get rolling on the last division. The 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Last division. Everybody's done very well so far. We are trying to guess who is the all-time passing leaders for every team in the NFL. I'm going to start with just the first team they give me, the San Francisco 49ers. Guys, who is the all-time leading passer for the 49ers?
Is this even a question?
Well, you got Steve Young and Joe Montana to choose from.
And Jeff Garcia.
True.
And Jeff Garcia.
No.
Everyone knows who it is.
35,124 yards.
Joe Montana.
Joe. Everybody, Joe. It is Joe Montana, everybody. Seattle Seahawks, all-time passing leader, has 33,946 yards. Does anybody want to take a stab at who might be the best all-time passer for the Seattle Seahawks?
I'm going to go with Russ.
Russell Wilson?
Is it him or Hasselback?
Derpy?
I'm going to go.
Boy, is Russell sure having a hard time. That I like the guy. I really do.
Seattle's.
I'd like to see him pick it up in Denver.
Seahawk Nation, let's ride. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is the correct answer. 33,946. He is the all-time passing leader for the Seattle Seahawks. I like the guy. I like to see him do better, but you know what? Things aren't going his way. Things aren't going his way in Denver. I can tell you that.
No, they are not.
They're not.
I got two teams left. The Rams, guys. The Rams. All-time passing leader who doesn't have many. I'm going to tell you that right now. You got to consider. Jay Cutler had 23,443. This quarterback had 23,758. Yes, it is more than Jameis Winston. Yes, it's more than Jay Cutler. But if you were to lump all these guys together, he would be in that group. I'm looking for the Rams all-time passing leader. I remember the guy. And by that being said, you should know that it's somebody that's not super current. Anybody on the Rams all-time passing leader?
Trent Green.
Trent Green. Derpy?
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Two good picks. Anything on the board, Mike, or is that...
Nothing on the board.
Okay. The all-time leader for the Rams is, with 23,758 yards, Jim Everett. Ooh. Jim Everett. Mike, we were kids. We were
P. Morton had that dude with the stash. I forgot about Jim Everett.
He was, when we were first getting introduced to football as kids, he was the Rams quarterback.
Yeah. I remember him. I remember seeing him play.
Now, this guy here, I don't know. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know if that makes things easier. I don't know if that makes things harder. But the very last team I'm looking for is the Cardinals all-time passing leader. And I'm going to tell you that I don't remember this guy. So do what you want with that.
Cardinals. Oh my God.
Who did you say?
I said, oh my.
Oh, okay.
My God.
He had 34,639 yards. So not bad. More than Russell Wilson, just slightly less than Joe Montana. The all-time leading passer for the Cardinals. You might know this name from a different sport, which is not the same guy, but he has the same name.
I forgot about the Chrissy Everett when Jim Rome was making fun of him. Chris Everett.
Chrissy Everett.
I have no. I literally do not have a guess.
I wouldn't guess the right answer.
Because I know like all the ones that have flamed out there. I know the Murray. I know Kurt Warner. That's about it. So
that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. If you say the name and I remember the guy, I'm gonna be pissed.
Again, you would recognize this name more if he was holding a one of them big things you yell into, the like
Hart?
a megaphone. Jim Hart,
Jimmy Hart,
all time, of course, from
wow.
WWF back in the day. 34,639 yards, which wasn't terrible. Like I said, considering that Joe Montana was only 35,124. Jim Hart, all-time leading passer. I don't know, Mike, if you want to pull that up. I can't tell what year it was, but it looks like an older pitcher.
1966.
So there you go.
1983 when they were in Seattle.
Wow.
Or St. Louis, excuse me.
St. Louis Cardinals,
St. Louis, yeah. Then he played till he was 40 years old.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. That is every team's all-time passing leader in the NFL to this point. Ooh. Of course, I know some are going to change. You know that they're going to change.
Oh, yeah.
You could almost know which teams are going to change just because of the quarterbacks that are present right now in the league. Guys, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the website?
Dumyinzers.com. Head on over there for everything. Dum Yinzers, links for every social media platform. All the popular ones, we're on there. Links are on there. Email addresses on there. Link to the merch stores on there. Everything you need. Dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. Got a lot of stuff going on over at the Dumyinzers.com. We're gonna do a trivia today, even though we just went through all that and we did all that. Oh, there we go. I see you now. P, how you doing this morning, sir? Today's trivia is going to be a Padres trivia question, of course, because this is who the Pirates are playing currently.
Mm-hmm.
I think Derpy's a baseball mind. Mike's my age. I think you guys are going to get this. And you know what? If you don't, I wouldn't be disappointed or surprised, but I think you guys have a good chance of getting this just because of the name. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Who holds the single season franchise record for the Padres for saves? Who holds the single season franchise record for the Padres for saves?
I know this.
The guys are chomping at the bit to get their answers
out. This man had the best.
I just do want to say that we're live 7 days a week from Monday to Sunday every week. You can check us out 11:30 a.m. right here. And if you missed a show or you prefer the show on podcast, you can always go over to Spotify. The show that we do every day gets uploaded live. It's 8:00 in the evening over on Spotify every day. We keep it fresh, baby. All right, here we go, guys. The question of the day, San Diego Padres. Who holds the single season Padres franchise record for saves? You know what? I'm not even going to give you the choices. I have a feeling that you guys know. I'm going to start with Derpy. Derpy, who do you think?
I'm going to go Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman. Correct? All right. Mike, who do you like?
He cut out.
Hoffman.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Hoffman.
Yes. Hoffman for Mike. All right. Who holds the single season Padres franchise record for saves? It was in 1998. That year, he converted and saved 53 out of 54 chances. He came in to attempt to save 54. He saved 53. The guys are right. Trevor Hoffman. I knew you guys would get it. I just like I said, this is a name that if you pay any
one of the best closer entrances ever.
If you pay any attention to baseball, you probably will know that. So yes, it is Trevor Hoffman. Let me give you the other guys' names I gave you as options to see if this would have threw you off at all. Mark Davis, Kirby Yates, and Heath Bell. Does that make it any more difficult for you?
No.
That makes it easier, doesn't it?
Heath Bell. There's a name.
Oh, man. Good show today, fellas. Mike, you got anything before we take off?
I got nothing. One more day till training camp opens.
Yes.
And then the 27th, the first day of practices. I can't wait. I do miss the conditioning test. I miss Casey Hampton failing it. Bill Keller yelling at him and Casey Hampton going, "Coach, if I have to run 40 yards in the season, we're done."
Derby, what do you got?
Bring back the polka fight song for the Steelers.
I like it. Every once in a while you do hear that, especially if you make your way to the stadium on game day. Sometimes people have it playing in their car while they're tailgating. P says he didn't even have a TV in 98. 98 was a rough year. I could agree with you on that one. But there you go, everybody. I want to thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. And even you, P, even you. Notice I went with this thing here at the front of my hair because I thought P was gonna.
He later in the day, P. That's all he could talk about was the.
Well, I talked about the beard for 7 months after P made the comment about my beard.
He was like, "That 70-30 comment eating me alive."
I did. The 70-30 comment. I must have texted Mike about 30 times last night.
Yes, he did.
And I thought I'll get P. Look at this unicorn. But no, we do thank everybody for checking us out. As always, we'll be back tomorrow, 11:30, at the same time, same place. And again, the show does get uploaded over on Spotify and podcast room this evening at 8 o'clock. For Derpy, Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers, everybody.